Hi, Charlotte.
Hello, Rachel.
Thank you so much for your time today in running this webinar for us. Um, so, just for the audience, Yavrio is a City Dynamics partner. And today, Charlotte's going to be talking about banking integration into Business Central. We'll have some opportunities for Q&As and yeah, we'll give you sort of some updates at the end as to regards to sort of a follow-up demo if you would like to have more of a one-to-one session. So with no further ado, Charlotte, over to you.
Thank you so much, Rachel. And it's my pleasure to run the joint webinar with City Dynamics. So in today's session, I will firstly go through a few presentation slides to give you some Yavrio's solution overview. And after those presentation slides, I will deliver a live demo session to show you Yavrio's functionality. So firstly, Yavrio, what do? We provide the seamless bank connectivity for your finance system. And we are going to start by talking about what are the problems that we are solving here. So 80% of the finance professionals work overtime to finish their month-end thing. So if this sounds like you've come to the right place. We exist to simplify, automate, and secure financial operations, eliminating the file-based manual process via the direct API integration. So for Yavrio's solution, essentially it can be broken into two major modules, such as cash ops and bank fees. So essentially, our solution can be summarized in three words: connect, get, send. So connect, we connect to over 10,000 bank accounts across the UK, EU, and the USA. Essentially, we will be able to connect your bank accounts in your ERP systems, such as Business Central and F&O. And after connecting to your bank account, you will be able to import transactions in the your finance system. And the point here is without using any files. So not only do we provide this sort of integration for transaction imports, we also support payment functionality. So yeah, as you can see on the presentation slides, we provide embedded payments and enhanced security. So for bank fees, using Yavrio's solution, you will be able to view your live banking data, and it will be the real-time balance that you will be able to see in the system, which means you won't need to be switching between your bank and your ERP system. And secondly, as mentioned, we connect to 10,000 bank accounts across globally, and that's via Open Banking API. So apart from Open Banking API, if there's any banks that you would like to connect that is not part of those 10,000 bank accounts, we can still fulfill your list needs via the Premium Treasury API connection. On top of that, we have our latest new feature, which is Magic Bank Rec. We use our own AI tool for the matching functionality, which is currently proved to be better than Copilots. In terms of cash ops, we have embedded payments outbound. So it doesn't matter which payment method that you use. It could be either domestic payments or international payments. We support both of the payment method. It's all covered. So as a company, essentially we are always looking to grow, and our end goal is to become a one-stop shop for everything that is finance or banking related. So on top of that, we are also developing our embedded payment inbound, such as direct debit functionality. And for the security side, we are also adding some new features such as confirmation of payee, payment validation, and some payment security measures. So yeah, later in the demo session, in the demo session, you will be able to see the features that's outlined on this presentation slide. So in terms of the coverage, in the US, we support over 12,000 banks and payment types such as ACH, RTP, and wires. In the UK and EU, we cover more than 1,000 institutions with BACS, faster payments, and SEPA payments. And in other regions, we are also active in Canada, UAE, Denmark, Sweden, and with more regions coming soon. And Yavrio's solutions are designed to easily integrate into new or existing ERP systems without any hassles. So currently, we can integrate to Business Central and F&O. North Star Zero. We like to say we are guided by our North Star Zero principles. So zero setup, just download and go. Zero files, no manual files or data entry. Zero training, it's very user-friendly and easy to use. Zero configuration, it looks very easy, very straightforward, and that's because we handle everything behind the scenes. So customer-wise, currently we have more than 100 customers to almost 200 customers now. And here are a few big names for your reference. And our marketing is also working on getting a few case studies ready, so you will be able to see those case studies soon on our website. So some FAQs, Yavrio is trusted by global enterprises, including world-famous institutions and organizations. We are also registered with a FCA compliant with PSD2, as security and trust are not just features, they are part of our foundations. So is Yavrio cost effective? We do have some pizza menu, pick and choose. You can just choose the solution that you like. And if you do require multiple different functionalities, we also have a competitive packaged pricing. So yeah, after those presentation slides, I will stop sharing and take you into Business Central to show you a live demonstration. Okay, so I'll be sharing a different screen. 1 second. Okay, cool. Okay, so now we are on this lovely Business Central page. So as mentioned, Yavrio's solution is pretty much a plug and play solution. You just need to install Yavrio's app from the Microsoft App Stores page. And the first step here would be to register a Yavrio account by searching for Yavrio Setup. So when you click on Yavrio Setup, there will be a short form on this page that's asking you to fill out your business information, such as the business registration address and the company number from the company's house. So when we receive the registration from you, we will then perform a KYC check. So KYC as in know your customer, that's part of our due diligence checks that we always have to do because we are FCA compliant. And let's say after the KYC check, if everything is all good, we will then activate your Yavrio account. So from that point, you can then start to connect your bank accounts by clicking on bank account. But before you do so, just make sure that you've enabled open banking permissions within your banking portal. So everything is all set. We are ready to go when I click on bank accounts. Firstly, you will have already created a list of your bank account cards in Business Central. So to link those bank account cards to your real bank account, you would click on Bank Statement Service, Connect Bank Account. So from here, it depends on which bank you use. If you bank with the UK banking institution, you will then type into GB for the UK banking institutions. Click on OK. As mentioned, we connect to 10,000 bank accounts, so I would strongly recommend you directly search for the bank institution that you wish to connect. So for today's demo session, I would like to connect to my NatWest Sandbox account. So I would type in NatWest and then find the bank account type that I wish to connect. So when I click on NatWest Sandbox, on this page, I will be given a QR code and a link for me to click. So which means I could either scan the QR code or click on the link to logging into my bank and connect. So from here, I will log in as usual using the credentials. Click on continue. So once I've logged into the bank portal, I will see all of the available bank accounts that are ready to be connected. So from here, I could just select both of the bank accounts at once, which also means if you do have multiple bank accounts, if they are all under the same banking portal, under the same entity, you could just select all of the bank accounts at once. Or if you would like to just select a few of them, you can just select the specific ones that you wish to connect. So for example, I would like to only connect to one bank account. So I would just confirm access for one account. So once the authentication is successful, then this tab will disappear and bring you back to BC. It will then bring you back to the bank account connection consent page. On this page, what I'm doing here is I'm just linking my NatWest Sandbox account back to the bank account card that I've already set up in BC. Okay, so this is my NatWest Sandbox bank account card. Click on Save. So when I look at my bank account card, you can see that I've just connected my NatWest Sandbox account in BC as the bank connection message will then change to connected. On the right-hand side, there's a consent expiry date, which you will find the date will expire after 90 days. And this is because of the FCA regulation. So after 90 days for the UK bank accounts, you will just need to click into the individual bank account card to renew the consent to keep it connected for another 90 days. And for the UK bank accounts, every 180 days, you will need to reconnect your bank account in BC by clicking on Bank Statement Service, Connect Bank Accounts, logging into your portal, and reconnect. So just remember to do this process every 180 days. And as for the EU bank accounts, you will need to reconnect every 90 days. If you forget to do that, don't worry. On this page, the bank connection message, if it's expiring soon, then the message will change to expiring soon in yellow. If it's expired, then the message will change to expired in red. So you would just need to simply follow those steps to keep it connected. So let's have a look. If I click on the individual bank account card, you will see on the right-hand side, I will also be able to view the real-time online bank balance. And by default, there's a job queue that's running every hour. So essentially, I will see the hourly updates on the right-hand side. If I scroll down for a bit, I will see Yavrio appears here and it's been connected. And there's a live balance from bank. If you do need to view your life balance multiple times throughout the day, you could just click on Update Life Balance, and it will give you the latest life balance from the bank. In the middle section, for the UK banking institutions, we support faster payments, BACS payments, and international payments. So for BACS payments, there will be some pre-setup to do. Firstly, you will need to request your bank to give you the service user number. In the meantime, we will provide the BSAN, which is our BACS Bureau's BSAN. And you will request your bank to connect your service user number to our BACS Bureau's Bureau service user number. In the end, we will generate this BACS payment profile ID for you. But anyway, we will take you through all of those setup together in the call. Okay, so as you can see on this page, I've connected both of my Deutsche Bank and NatWest bank accounts. I'm going to take you to the bank account reconciliations page to show you how to import transactions in BC without using any files. So when I go to the bank account reconciliations page, you could just use this Yavrio button to import transactions from all of the connected bank accounts. So when I click on Auto Run or Bank Recs, you could even enable show date formulas to automatically bring your transactions in on whatever frequency you prefer. So for example, I've set the frequency on a daily basis, which means I will be able to import those transactions automatically on a daily basis. In the meantime, I could also enable this apply automatically button. So this is actually the Business Central button that when you click on match and then match automatically, it's the same one. So what does that mean if I enable those two buttons at the same time? That means in the next day when I go into the office, all of the transactions will be automatically imported in BC. In the meantime, if I have the bank account ledger entries, Business Central will automatically match those bank account ledger entries against the bank statement lines that are imported using Yavrio's API integration. And then after the matches, you will still be able to check it before you post it. But essentially, this is one of the methods that you could just do your either daily or weekly or monthly bank rec automatically. So now let's try to import some transactions in and let's see what it looks like. So from here, as you can see, you can select any random day range. But for example, let's just select the transaction date from 30th of July to 31st. And let's create new reconciliation. When I click on OK, supposedly it should give me the transactions data from both of my NatWest and Deutsche Bank. But because my Deutsche Bank didn't have transactions, so it will also give you this pop-up message. So let's click on OK and have a look what's in our NatWest bank rec. So when we click on the NatWest bank rec, you will see all of the transactions from 30th of July to 31st will then appear under the bank statement lines. So now I have the transaction data. I'm ready to do the reconciliation process. And let's say, okay, one scenario here. I thought I didn't need this transaction, the 30th of July, description with deposit and the value with £10. So I've decided to go ahead and delete the line. And then after 2 hours, I realized I need that transaction to be back under the bank statement lines. So what I'm going to show you next will be now we got Yavrio installed and registered. You could just click on one button to recall that transaction back under the bank statement lines. Okay, so let's go ahead and delete this transaction line. And then after 2 hours, I need that transaction to be back again. I will just need to click on bank. Get transactions from bank. Simply select the same day range. And as I do now wish to restart a whole new bank rec, I would like that transaction to appear to my existing reconciliation. So I would select a different option here and click on OK. So when I scroll all the way down to the bottom, and I will be able to see that transaction date on 30th of July and the value with £10 will then appear again under the bank statement lines. So for the following process, you will then follow through the standard BC functionality by clicking on matching. So you can automatically match manually reconcile with Copilot or use Yavrio's magic bank rec functionality. We do have a separate recording for this, which I'm also happy to share. So simply reach out to City Dynamics and we can schedule the meeting and I will be sharing more details regarding our magic bank rec functionality. Okay. So that's pretty much what it looks like in terms of the transaction imports. If you do prefer to import your transactions on the payment reconciliation journals, you could do that as well. So for example, if you go to the payment reconciliation journals, you will be able to find the same Yavrio button here, which is auto run or bank recs. And essentially, it will be the same process. You could either bring the transactions automatically or semi-automatically by selecting a specific day range. But anyway, it's the same process, so I wouldn't repeat it again in this session, but just to show you, if you want to do it on the payment reconciliation journals, you could do that as well. Okay, so now let's move on to the payment journals page. And on the payment journals page, I will be showing you how to send the payment out without using any files. So when we go to the payment journals page, typically you would prepare your payments on the payment journals. So on the payment journals, I've prepared one payment that I'm going to send it to my vendor. So before we send the payment out, I just need to make sure that the balance account type is set to be bank account. And the balance account number, as I would like to send it from my NatWest Sandbox account, so I will select the NatWest bank account card. Okay, so to send the payment out, as usual, you will click on bank. But rather than clicking on the export payment files, you could just click on this Yavrio button, which is send payment to bank. When you click on send payment to bank, you will be able to choose between 3 different payment methods. So if you wish to send a payment by faster payments, you will then select bank transfer. If you wish to send a BACS bulk UK domestic payments, then you will select BACS. If you wish to send a bulk international payments, we work with our partner xe.com, so you will select the payment method xe. So, sorry. So in this session, I will show you one by one for different payment methods. So firstly, let's select bank transfer. So when I select bank transfer, as typically faster payments, bank transfer are used for the same day or more like emergency payments. So for the scheduled payment date, I will just leave it for today. And let's click on next. So once I've clicked on next on this page, I will be given a QR code and a link again. And the reason why you need to log in into your bank account before sending the payment out, that is because we don't store your sensitive login credentials in your ERP system. So for this case, you will then either scan the QR code or click on the link to log in into your banking portal. So from here, I will log in as usual using the credentials. So once I've logged into my bank portal, I will be able to see that £200 payments will then sit nicely within my banking portal. And the page that you're looking at right now is the final approval stage, which means if you do have the approval flow set up with your bank, it will still follow through that approval flow. But just because it's a demo session, so you will see in order to show you the full end-to-end session. So it's the final approval stage. Okay, so as the final approver, everything looks all good. I will then confirm the payment. So once the authentication is successful, then the tab will disappear and bring you back to BC. So for this case, if you have more faster payment to send, then you will click on proceed next. So once I've sent the faster payment out, the payment status will then change to completed, and the payment method will be via bank transfer. So for Yavrio's faster payments functionality, what we do is we connect to individual banks' open banking API. So one of the common questions here would be the bulk faster payments capability. So regarding the bulk faster payments capability will be depending on which bank you use. So yeah. So for that case, the best case would be you reach out to us, we schedule the one-on-one session, and we will evaluate from there. But this is the faster payments part. So for the following part, I will be showing you the BACS payments. As for Yavrio's BACS payment solution, there's no limitation in terms of how many payments you can send in one go, which is why the BACS payment solution has become more and more popular to our customers. So for this case, I will be showing you how to send the back payments. So I will reset the payment first. And as typically, back payments are used for sending the bulk UK domestic payments. So for that case, I will then create a second payment. So for example, send another £300 out. Okay, so now I have two payments that I would like to send. So for this case, I will still click on send payment to bank. And for the payment method, I will select back payment for the bulk UK domestic payments. So as typically for back payments, it takes T plus 2 working days to settle the funds. So which means I will need to select at least 4th of August to send a back payment out. So what if I don't? What if I select tomorrow and click on next? So for this case, our system will block you from selecting the wrong date and guide you to select the next available date, which will be 4th of August. And let's click on next. Okay, so for this case, you can see there's a difference between faster payments and back payments. So for back payments, there will be this preview message to show you the total lines and total value that we are going to send here. So now I would like to send a 500 bulk back payment. So I will click on yes. So for this case, on the payment journals, the payment status will then change to awaiting authorization. We will also overwrite the schedule date and payment method for you on the payment journals. So now we need to authorize this payment. As the one of the approvers, I will then go into my email inbox and I will receive an email from no reply at yavrio that's asking me to approve that £500 back payment. Okay, so as one of the approver, when I click on review payments, it will then take me to the Yavrio Backs portal. So once I've logged in, it will take me straight to that £500 back payments. And before I approve the payment, I will be able to view the sort code and account number of my vendors. So for the security purpose, I will be able to view it, but I won't be able to change any bank account details that's associated to those payments that I'm going to make. Okay, at the top, I can also see the payment summary, including which bank accounts that I'm sending the back payment from. So this is my NatWest Sandbox account. Okay, everything looks so good. I will then approve this payment using the Authenticator app. And there's a 30-second live code. And authorize the payment. So once I've approved the payments on the authorization logs, you will be able to see who submitted the payments at what time, what day, who authorized the payments at what time, what day. If you typically have different people to submit or authorize the payments, you will be able to do this adjustment within the user management page, which I will be showing you later when we come back to this portal. But now we've approved the £500 payment. When we come back to Business Central and click on Get Payment Status again, then the payment status will change to pending. And by the end of the cutoff time today, we will then be submitted those BACS payment submission to our BACS bureau partner, which is APS, Absolute Payment Solutions. So they will start to process the BACS payment for you. Another common question here would be, okay, so now we've done this approval flow within Yavrio's BACS portal. Do I have to approve it again within my bank? So the answer would be no, you don't have to approve it within your banking portal. And that is because for Yavrio's BACS solution, we connect directly with a BACS bureau partner. So yeah, for that case, you don't have to approve it again. Everything will be done within this portal. And that's that's pretty much the reason why we designed this separate portal to essentially help you mirror your approval flow. Okay, so as mentioned, regarding the approval flow setup, you would do it within this user management page. And typically, before the onboarding call, we would check with you, who would you like us to set up as the first authorizer within your organization? Then the first authorizer will be given the admin accounts and will have the access into this Yavrio portal. So for example, let's say I am the first authorizer within Yavrio, this organization. So once I've logged into this Yavrio portal, I will be able to create more new authorizers. So from here, I just need to input my colleague's name and email, and I can select between two different roles. So for example, if I set my colleague as an user role and the maximum authorization value to 10K, that means my colleague, whoever got this user role, they will now have access into this user management page. And for any payments that's above 10K, it will now go through this user account. On the other hand, if I set my colleague as an admin role, and that means my colleague who got this admin role will be able to have the access into this user management page to change any settings here. And for any payments that's and basically for the maximum authorization value, the admin accounts will be able to approve a limited maximum authorization value. At the top, you can also set how many approvers are required to approve the payment. So for example, if you have the dual approval flow that you need to do this setup, you could just set 2 people are required to approve the payments. If you do have the policy of submitter cannot authorize the payments, which means you have 2 different people to authorize and submit the payments, you can enable this toggle as well and click on update. So within this Yavrio portal, you could do all of the customization within this user management page setup. With this portal, you will also be able to keep track of all of the pending back payments, as well as approved and reject payments. So when it says pending payments, it doesn't mean the real back payment status. As for the real back payment status, you will check it directly within your ERP system. So what does that mean when it says pending payments within Yavrio's portal? It means those are the payments simply waiting for you to approve. Same concept applies to approved and reject payments. That means those are the payments that you've approved and reject. Okay, so I would say that's pretty much what it looks like in terms of how to send a domestic GBP payments. So if you do also need to send the international payments, whether from your USD account to your USD vendor or from your GBP account to your US vendor, you would be able to send the bulk international payment out by clicking on XE. So to show you the international payment functionality, I will be switching to a different payment batch, payment journal. Okay. So on a different payment batch, I've set 2 international payments that I'm going to send it to my US vendor and Swedish vendor. So you will see the currency code. I've set one to be sent to USD, the other one to SEK. So to send the international payment out, again, we just need to make sure the balance account type is set up correctly, and the balance account number is also just choose the one that you wish to send the international payment from. Okay, so to send the international payment out, you will then click on XE, pay with XE. So there will be a preview page to show you that you are going to, so for this case, I'm sending the international payment from my NatWest GBP accounts and to my US and Swedish vendors. Okay. So once I've clicked on OK, it will then take you to the XC contract. And you can see there's a countdown of the live quotes that will last for 85 seconds. So here you will see there's a live exchange rate provided by XC.com. And based on this exchange rate, it will auto calculate the total cost for you. And as for this international payment, I'm sending it from my GBP account. So the total cost, you can see here, it will be 178.34 GBP. Okay. So let's say I am not really happy with this exchange rate. I would like to try to see if I can get a better quote. So for that case, I could always click on refresh quote and see if it changed to a better rate. Oh, okay. We got lucky. So now we got this new exchange rate. And based on this exchange rate, we are going to pay 1p less, which is 178.33 GBP. Okay, so I'm happy to proceed with this exchange rate. I will then click on confirm and continue. Okay, cool. So now the contract has been confirmed, which means we've locked this exchange rate. And now we are going to pay 178.33 to XE, so then they can start to process your international payments. You will also see the contract details will change to contract confirmed, and now it's awaiting settlement. So this is where the area that Yavrio and XE, we have this very unique joint proposition, which will allow you to be able to settle using Yavrio's API integration. So let's click on settle with Express Bank Transfer to send the 138.33 to GBP to XE. So when I click on continue, it will then take you to the Yavrio portal. On the right-hand side, you will be able to see the payment details. And you can see we are going to pay to HiFX Euro Limited. It's the legal entity of XE.com. And for this transaction, this payment, there will be an MPT reference number that's associated to this payment. Okay. So from here, I would like to send it from my Sandbox accounts. So again, we don't store your credentials, so you will be taken into the portal. Oh, I think I typed something wrong. Okay. So once I've clicked on continue, again, this is the final approval stage. So as the final approver, I can see the 138.33 are going to be, it's going to be sent to XC.com. Okay. As the approver, I approve this payment. So once it's successful, then this tab will disappear. When we come back to BC, you will see there's a new notification. It says settlement authorized by Yavrio. XE is processing your payments. If you scroll down a bit, on the contract details, you will see the settlement status will then change to settlement submitted. That means we've already submitted this settlement to XE. But yeah, XE is still processing the payments. And let's say if I use XE to process quite a lot of global payments, how do I keep track of all of them? I would just need to search for XE contract in BC. And you can see that's a list of the global payments that I've made by XE. So for example, this is the one that we've just made. There's an MPT contract number associated to this payment. So settlement submitted, which means your vendors have not yet received the funds. But once the settlement status has changed to settled, that means your vendors have received the funds. So if we click on the individual MPT contract, XE contract, you will be able to click on view XE contract note. So from here, you could even download the PDF file and then store it somewhere safely in your laptop. So yeah, essentially that's pretty much what it looks like in terms of how to connect to your bank account and how to import transactions, as well as how to send the domestic and international payments. So towards the end of the session, we will be open to the Q&A if there's any questions. And I will stop sharing my screen. Do we have any questions?
I'm just having a look. I don't believe we do at this point. Charlotte, thank you so much for that demonstration. It's a game changer for financial management within Business Central. And yeah, I'm sure it's going to make a lot of people's lives much easier. We will leave our details at the end of the slide. And yeah, we open up obviously for one-to-one demonstrations as well. If anybody would like more of an in-depth demo into Yavrio. But Charlotte, thank you so much for spending time with us today. And
thank you, Rachel. And I forgot to mention one thing. We
yeah,
actually have the special promotion to the
okay.
City Dynamic customers. So yeah, so we provide a 3 months free trial for whoever attended this webinar and then do the sign up. So there's a special
Wonderful.
promotion for this.
Yeah, fabulous. Thank you ever so much. And I'm sure we'll have lots of customers taking you up on that offer. So yeah, no, there's no questions in the panel, but yeah, once again, thank you so much for your time today. And yeah, we look forward to taking any questions offline from anybody.
Thank you, Rachel. Thank you,
Thank you.
City Dynamics.
Have a great day.
Have a great day. Bye bye.
Bye.